Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Scott Stan, the original Tombstone Tourist, and today I'm going to take you on a trip to Pierce Brothers Valley Oaks Memorial Park in Westlake Village, California. And who are you here to see? We are here to see the incomparable, the talented vocalist extraordinaire. She was a great drummer, songwriter, part of Richard and Karen Carpenter team, Miss Karen Carpenter. Now, I'm not going to talk about her biography or all the hits that they had together or all the exciting stuff in the 70s and 80s featuring the Carpenters, and I certainly don't want to dwell on her passing, untimely as it was. What I want to do is maybe talk about a few things that you didn't know about the Carpenters, and then take you on a nice little journey up to her latest memorial. Latest because she was originally buried in Forest Lawn Cemetery, Memorial Park in Cypress, California. And she was in an indoor mausoleum. It was rather dark, rather not light and airy like the new mausoleum that she has outdoors. But let me just show you a quick picture of it. So as you can see, Richard had both his parents and Karen moved up to Westlake because that's where Richard lives now, and that made sense. And besides, I think what he did with the mausoleum and the water feature and all that great stuff, absolutely fantastic. I love this memorial, and as you can see, a lot of flowers every day. And in case you were wondering why she always has Mickey Mouse characters around her, fans that leave stuff. She was a huge Disney fan, loved to collect all the collectibles and all that great stuff. So there you go. So if you're looking for Carpenters related memorabilia, don't bother going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Not my favorite museum, but the display that they have at Cal State University in Long Beach at the Richard and Karen Carpenter Performing Arts Center is incredible. They have instruments, photos, awards, original sheet music. Here, let me show you right here. Now, before you go to the Performing Arts Center, be sure to call them. Back in the days, it used to always be open, and you could walk in, and they have a lot of display cases there. But I think you need to call ahead of time now, and they'll open it or tell you when it's open to the public. Okay, so a lot of you know that Karen was married to Tom Burris. Tom Burris was a real estate developer and contractor, and not a very good one at the time that he was married to Karen, because she had to clear a lot of his debts, which were considerable at the time. They were only married for 14 months, and it was not a happy or successful marriage by any measure. But interesting to note, which you probably didn't know, she had an interesting dating history. She dated Tony Danza. She dated comedian Steve Martin. Mark Harmon, okay. Who would say no to Mark Harmon? Okay, I get it. Great looking guy even today. And one of the Lesser Osmond brothers. Now, finally, let's take a look at their house. This is the Karen and Richard Carpenter home that they grew up in with their parents. And here's the main house. Now, that is the very house. I took this picture in 1990. That's exactly what it looked like when the Carpenters were growing up. Nothing had changed by that point. Agnes passed away in that house. I took that picture in 1990. Agnes passed away in 96, I believe. I took that picture when she was living there. Obviously, I didn't knock on the door, bother her, or make any announcements. I just took a quiet picture and moved along. That's not to say that always happened. It was a tourist attraction, to be sure. But Karen actually did collapse in that house, in that main part of the house. And what's interesting, and I got this from my good friend Scott Michaels of Dearly Departed and findadeath.com. He actually talked to one of the paramedics that was there that answered the call when Agnes called it in that her daughter had collapsed. Now, Agnes begged the paramedics to say that her daughter collapsed upstairs in her closet. She actually collapsed, and this is from an interview Scott had with one of the paramedics. She has actually collapsed in the kitchen making coffee. When they found her, her heartbeat was roughly 1 every 10 seconds. She was barely alive, and she was declared dead at the hospital shortly after. Now I'm going to show you another picture, and this is the other part of the house. Now that part of the house was their actual recording studio and offices of the Carpenters. And that's where a lot of the magic was made. So they were either recording there or at the A&M studios in Los Angeles. And it's just incredible that that was bulldozed. That was actually torn down, and what we like to call in California a McMansion was put in its place. But the main home is still there. But it's really sad that they tear down such history. But it's Los Angeles, and you have to understand they will tear down anything, anytime, for any reason, anywhere. And that's just the California way, and a lot of history disappears because of it. So what I want to do is now take you back to the cemetery out in the valley. And to find it, you simply drive through the great gates, go to the very top of the road, hang a left, drive 80 feet, and it's on your right. And from there, I'm going to pick it up with this video. I'm Scott Stanton, the original Tombstone Tourist. Come to my website for all great stories, articles, interviews, and of course, the great music of the Carpenters. Have yourself a great day. Thanks, and until the next time I see you. Bye.
I can't see anything. All I can see is my shirt.
I can see it from back here.
There we go.
You get it centered. Nice little stream here.